So here I'm going to show you how to make a yo-yo. These are great. You can actually use these for a lot of projects. I like using yo-yos definitely for an embellishment, but I also make my Christmas garland out of these, and I'll post a picture down below in my posting so that you can see what I'm referring to. People kind of really look at them and ask a lot of questions regarding it. Kind of makes it look like the old-fashioned popcorn depending upon the colors that are used and so forth. So this is what I'm going to show you what we're going to make. The materials that you're going to need, I'm just going to set that aside, and the materials that you're going to need, I cheat, and I use these wonderful templates made by Clover. They come in all kinds of shapes, sizes. There's butterflies, there's four-leaf clovers, there's flowers. I have every circle. I think there's 5 different versions of this, or sizes within the circle. Of course, you're going to need a scrap piece of material, so this is an awesome way as well to bust through your scraps, because let's be honest, none of us can throw away anything when we are done with it, no matter what the size is. You're going to need thread, and of course you're going to need some needles so that you can thread them and sew around the outside. Okay, so let's get started. So what you do first is you'll take your template, and you can see the hole right there, so you just push this out, and now you've got your 2 pieces. You can see that this side is concaved, and this is pretty much flat, but you'll see that there's these lines here, and once you have those lines, you want to make sure that you line them up once you have the material in with these notches that are going around. So what we do is we take the material, we place it on top, so you can see as I'm pushing on this, you want the bowl effect to be here so that you can put your material in. Then you want to take your template and you want to push it down inside. Again though, you want to make sure that you are meeting that notch there. I don't know if I can have you see that there. So you just want to make sure that that line is matched up, and you can press down and you'll hear the clicks and you'll be able to feel it. Then what you want to do is you'll grab a pair of scissors. Actually, I think I'm going to grab a bigger pair because they're just a little bit too small. Just a pair of scissors, and you're going to cut around the outside very close to this lip. So you just want to come in, and you can see I'm kind of just laying the scissor along the edge on the outside as I cut this up. And you keep doing that until you come around to the other side. And some people may keep those, but something like that, no, I actually will get rid of those. Probably somebody out there is going, oh, she can't do that. So what you'll need now, what you have is this cute little sandwich. So you have this little bit of material coming around. It's secure. Make sure that the good side of your material is showing through this hole. Okay, you want the wrong side to be down in underneath this plate here. So one of these lines, of course, are your gauges again. So what you want to do is you're going to fold down this material, and you're going to push through one of the holes. And if I turn this over, you can see that there's these, oh, wait a minute, let me focus, there we go. You can see that there's these divots or cutouts along the bowl shape. So you want to make sure that you come out on the one side and come back in on the left side. So I'm going to pull my thread through, and of course have a knot at the end, and I'm then going to push it through on this side. And when I flip this over, you want to make sure that you're catching the material. So I'm going to push that through. So again, I'm going to roll over. I'm going to push through again. See that I'm coming through. You want to make sure, see how that latched on there? You want to make sure that you're nice and flat, so make sure you push down your materials. And now you're going to come back up to the other side, and you can see that I'm doing that. I got a bright glare there. You can see that I'm doing that, so your stitch is actually sitting within that hole, and there's a reason for that. If you actually cross here, you're not going to be able to disconnect the pieces of plastic, the template, so that you can create your yo-yo. So now I'm just going to focus or push around and continue to sew. I'm going to push that out of my way. Get where my bearings are again. So you can see it's just an in and out stitch, like you would normally do. These, I've really grown fond of them, and fond of these, and I will say that they are a true stash buster. When I see I have materials that I'm either not going to use for another project or for an item that I may sell in my shop, you know, eventually fabrics sometimes do tend to get outdated, so to speak. It all depends on what that fabric is, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a Christmas print for what I use these for. It could be, you know, a blue, a red, a gold color, or maybe, you know, a certain shade of yellow, and so forth. And I will just take those materials, I'll cut them up into certain blocks. I use a certain size when it comes to the garlands. And I just cut them up and I set them in this huge bag that I have that pretty much travels with me wherever I go. And I will sit there and make my yo-yos as I continue along. So you can see I was just going to make a mistake there. I was going to go into this hole here, and I need to be over here. That would have caused some major problems. So every once in a while you just want to check. You can start getting the feel of it. I've been using these for a while, so I kind of know where to put my needle. Now here you can see I'm at the end, because this is where we started. But here you want to do one more stitch. So you want to go down and you want to come back up. And now what you want to do is, just like when you took it apart, you want to push in the center and now take your pieces and separate it. So you can set this piece aside over there. And now what you want to do is you want to literally just flip your material off, and you can set that aside now. Get that out of our way. And what I like to do is, when I want to form the yo-yo to get this shape, I'll keep it down on my surface, or I'll do this on my leg if I'm transferring. And all you're going to do is just pull on this thread. So you notice we didn't cut it. You just want to pull on it, and I'll actually help form it. And you can see as I'm pulling, it's gathering the materials. So once I get close to the end and my finger won't fit, I give it a big tug. Now you can see I've got a different shape here. You know, I've got the opening that sits up at the top, so it kind of gives it a teardrop effect. You can certainly keep it that way. Me, I do like to get them into the center. So all you have to do is just play with it for a little bit, shift around the materials. Again, I give it another tug, and then what you want to do is you just want to knot it off. So I usually just come in here and just grab a little bit of the fabric, and I just place a knot. And again, I'll just go in again. And then I just take my needle, I push it down through the center, and you can see it just kind of tucks in those threads. I'll come to the other side, I'll snip it close, making sure I don't cut the material. Remember to set my needle aside, and there you go. You have a yo-yo. Now, as I said, I use these for certain projects that I sell in my shop, and they're very well received. But you could actually create a quilt out of these, and they are absolutely beautiful when you do that. So depending upon the colors that you use, you can make it a variegated, and again, you can literally just take a white sheet, a white piece of fabric, and actually connect these to each other. You can actually just, put these like this, do a little bit of English paper piecing, for those of you that know, and then when you push that out, they're all connected, and then you could adhere them onto the white background or whatever color you want, and they do make beautiful quilts. They were a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this. This, if you haven't been able to tell, is my first video, so hopefully I was understood, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment in the post below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. My name is Desiree, and I am the owner and designer of Made at Home Quilts and then some. We have a lot of and then some, so please take the time to check out the shop, and again, I look forward to your comments. Take care.